Hi, welcome in or welcome back. My name is Ro, your online big sister for honest life advice and cozy chats. We just passed the half year mark of 2025. 6 months have passed, and that means so many things have happened. I have had quite the incredible first 6 months of 2025. So many things that I hoped would happen, but did not expect to actually happen this year, let alone in the first 6 months, have actually happened. Things of going like full time as a creator, having a meet and greet at TwitchCon, being a featured streamer and having my face all over the billboards, getting asked to join a photo shoot for a magazine. There are so many super cool highlights, and I cannot wait to review them all. So this video is my official 6-month review. I'm doing these videos to hold myself accountable, to actually chase my goals and to actually work on them throughout the entire year. But also I'm making these videos to show you guys what it can look like to set goals at the beginning of the year and then review them every single quarter. I'm doing this using my Notion dashboard, which is called my Purpose dashboard, which is part of my entire Notion setup. If you are interested in either my entire Notion setup tour or you're interested in my goal setting video and my first quarterly review, I've linked everything in the description box down below. What we're going to do today is we're going to walk through basically all of my overall goals and my milestones to do a little review of where I stand and what I would like to focus on for the next quarter. So let's actually hop into Notion and let's get started. So we are here in my Purpose dashboard, and just a really quick layout recap for anyone who might have not seen any of my earlier videos, but I have my yearly goals here on the left-hand side. These are like bigger overarching goals that all have milestones to them that I think for this year are specific steps to not necessarily reach these goals, but work on them actively. I think these goals are things that might as well just show up on my goals list next year as well, because some of them are really big. Then I have a little vision board that's just to remind me of what I want my life to look like. And then we have my milestones that go for all year, so things that I want to work on 365 days in 2025. And then I've set goals for Q1, Q2, and Q3 and Q4. We're going to specifically review the things that are in all year and the things that are in Q2. And then once we've done that, we're going to go take a quick look at the yearly goals to see if there are any that I can like take off or put the percentage at a higher rate, basically. So what I've done, or what I'm doing to track these things, is I journal every single day. And when I journal, I fill in a little habit tracker so that I can basically see a little graph over here that allows me to update this number. I get to update this, but not by far as much as I should have been updating it, considering we're halfway through the year and I want this for 80%. That basically means that for all the nights to come, I have to get perfect sleep. I say this every quarter and I feel like I should definitely get better at it, but it's just really difficult with where I'm at my life right now. Is I'm super busy and I have so much to do, and I notice myself specifically in the evening sometimes having a little severe case of like bedtime revenge, where I'm like, no, I don't want to go to bed yet. This is finally the time where I have time to like chill or do something fun for myself. And I'm working on a lot of really fun projects for content, which sometimes just means that I'm like really into something. In this case, right now, for anyone watching my streams, it's Minecraft. I've joined an SMP, meaning that I'm playing with other people. I've been having the best time of my life, but that also means that sometimes I spend a little bit too much time on being awake and a little too less time on actually sleeping. Yeah, 17% while we're halfway through the year is not very good, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to reach this goal, which doesn't mean I should give up on it. I think I'll still leave it here like it is. I just feel like I say this every single time. I should really get better at this. And I generally wake up around 8 a.m. in the morning, so going to bed at 12 shouldn't even be that difficult. So I'm just going to continue to work towards this goal as much as I can. Consistently practicing skincare, I have been a lot better at. It's at 163. Let's go, which means that I have done it for 45%, which is not enough to actually be like half of the year, but I have put it on every single day, meaning that I cannot really miss a day of skincare, which I guess is maybe not the most realistic goal. I'll still leave it here. I think I'm okay with not reaching this goal fully, like 100%ing it. But for me, it's mostly about the fact that I'm building the routine to every single day at the end of the day, take off my makeup, wash my face, put on some moisturizer, because I feel like this is something that I haven't really done before and I just need to build the routine. I think that's maybe more what I mean with consistently, is for myself, it has to feel like something I do every day. just like brushing my teeth or like in the morning putting on my makeup or brushing my hair and stuff like that. I just wanted to feel like it is natural and part of my day, so that moving forward, that doesn't feel like a choice anymore, but it just feels like it's incorporated into my life. Then take my vitamins and meds. I've actually adjusted this goal throughout this last quarter because this originally said only take my vitamins daily, and then I changed it to meds daily. And now I'm realizing that it's actually kind of annoying that they are together because I'm not taking my meds every day, but I am taking my vitamins every day. So I'm gonna have to think about this. My entire journey for ADHD meds is actually a big part of this second quarter. I'm going to make a whole separate video about how I've been experiencing taking ADHD medication for the first time as an almost 30-year-old who's been diagnosed like 17 years ago. But I would really like to emphasize that I haven't taken my meds daily. So if you're going to watch that video, it's not going to be like I've taken it for a quarter every single day. This consistency is mostly my vitamins. It's not really my meds because I only recently started with that. So this is 146. I have quite consistently been taking my vitamins, but I do think I want to adjust this a little bit because, to be honest, or not necessarily adjust the goal, but I think I want to look into this a little bit more because I've just been taking multivitamins and I think it's not really doing what I wanted to do. I want to do like a bit of a more of a deep dive of which vitamins I actually need to help me, because I, at this point, feel like I haven't really been taking advantage of the fact that I've been taking vitamins daily, because I still, as you might sound here right now, I still sound very nasally. I have had a cold, which I think is hay fever, but I also need to go see the doctor about it. So I don't know, like a lot of these goals where I'm like, oh, I need to consistently take care of myself. I'm like, I've been doing that, but also sometimes I'm almost too stuck in the routine and I need to sort of reflect and see if it's still useful. Committing to 2 workouts a week, I was on such a good schedule with my workouts. I was like so consistently going twice a week. And then I had TwitchCon, which is a big event for streamers. And I just kind of fell out of my routine, which kind of makes me sad because I only get to go to 39, which means that I was very nicely ahead of things and now I'm behind on things again. For me now, my focus is just to going back to the 2 times a week. I'm quite consistently going 1 time a week every Friday morning. My biggest challenge is trying to figure out how with my EDS I can do a workout and then take enough rest in between and then do another workout in that same week, because I think my body needs at least 2 days of rest to recover from a workout like Pilates. But then if I work out on Friday, that means that I have to go on Monday or Tuesday. But on those days, I simply do not have the time to go and do a workout. So I'm going to try and figure out how I'm going to fit it into my week, because if I go on Wednesdays, that would be too close to the Friday again. So I'm going to have to shuffle some things around. I might have to go back to Wednesdays and weekends for workouts, but I don't know. I find it important to do, but for some reason, because the recovery time is so long and quite intense the day after, I always feel like quite shit. And sometimes on the day itself, I struggle already because I'm so tired and my body is just recovering very badly, especially in the earlier phases of workouts when I'm not in a good routine. This goal is a difficult one to incorporate into my life, especially if I'm busy with other things that I also don't want to put aside, if that makes any sense. Then this one, I have actually been working on really hard. We've done a lot of fun things, not as much as we've done in the first quarter, but I still get to update it to 18, which means that I'm 72% in for bi-weekly things, considering that would mean that it's 25. And I'm actually really happy with this. I'm very excited for things that we have scheduled. We're going to go to a concert next week. We're going to go on holiday in August. So there's a lot of exciting things coming up, which I feel like we're going to also enjoy a lot more quality time together. And that's just really nice that is something that we're making time for, and I'm excited to do that. Then setting aside 15 to 20 minutes for meaningful communication, and then I've said 130. I guess this is just because we've gotten a lot better at generally just talking about a lot of things. So yeah, this has been working pretty nicely and I'm very happy about it. Then this one, it says weekly, and then I kind of started to do this instead of weekly, more on a daily basis of just doing a little check-in of this is where I stand. I would still not say that I'm the best at it, but I do get to up this The thing is, because I now say it's a daily occurrence, this goes up way faster than it did when I just said it was weekly. I feel like some of my goals over the years, I set them with a specific intention at the beginning of the year. And now after 6 months, I'm realizing that the way I framed the goal wasn't necessarily the way to reach my intention. And I am now like mostly just working on the intention, which I think is also fine. I think this is something that I like about goal setting, at least for myself. I used to be really rigid with this, and then I would be like, oh, I'm not exactly doing what I set out to do with my goal. So you know what? Let's just throw it out of the window and ignore it altogether. And now I'm more trying to focus on what was my intention when setting this goal, and can I still like commit to that intention? And then seeing the goal is just a reminder of my intention. So I'm like, okay, my intention was to talk more about, hey, this is where I stand. My next week is going to be like really busy. This is what I need or what I expect. And I think doing that every single week just didn't make a lot of sense. So now it's more about just generally talking about how I feel, what my emotional state is, where do I stand, what do I need? And that's definitely a work in progress. Therapy has been helping a lot with this, but I'm also learning a lot about myself on like, what actually do I feel and what do I need to communicate to people around me, if that makes any sense. Then reviewing the goals and progress every quarter. I just get to put that to 2 because we're doing that right now. Weekly reviews to reflect is at 149 because no, that's not correct. I was like, that cannot be correct. I do this weekly. There have not been 149 weeks in this week. It's at 26, which actually is a perfect 50% because I have very consistently been doing this every single week, and I'm very happy with that because it definitely helps me to sort of stay on top of things and feel comfortable in anything that I've planned and stuff like that. Then journaling, let's do a little update on that. And then it says for at least 350. Okay, well, I've done it for 174, which means that we're at a perfect 50%, which is amazing. I do know that I have to catch up on yesterday and today, but that actually means that I am really nicely on track with journaling every day, which is another routine that I didn't never thought I could actually form, and now I have it and I'm super happy with it. So also journaling for me does not look like I write like a big journal page. It literally looks like for me, I've made this sort of little questionnaire for myself. So when I start a journal page, it literally prompts me with like, how are you feeling? And then it's a drop down list of emotions that I can select. It allows me to give like a pain score to the day. It allows me to fill in my habit tracker. It allows me to say whether I was like stressed or relaxed or starting to feel stressed. And then I have like a little line where I can write, what do I want to do differently tomorrow to change or keep the state that I have right now? And these are all kind of like small little exercises for myself rather than journaling, because journaling and writing a lot doesn't really do anything for me, I've noticed. Because then I'll just write for the sake of writing without actually reflecting on things. Then the next one is collaborate with other creators to make more impact. At least 5 collabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've done 13. I've reached this goal for 260%, and we have 4 more planned, and I have 2 more that I want to plan. I think when it comes down to collaboration, this is my year. Like, I have been working so much with other content creators, and it's been so incredibly inspiring and so motivating, and it's just really, 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 really been so much fun. So I cannot wait to continue to do that more, to get creative and to make a bigger impact together with others. And it's just been really, really cool. Then I have one that says dare to experiment with new forms of content. This originally was a way lower number. I remember changing this in Q2. I set out to do 20 experiments. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that means that I've done 5 in the past quarter. And that means that we are 60% in, which is perfect. I have a little less things planned, but I do actually have a couple of ideas that I just haven't added to my list. But I'm definitely continuously trying to explore my content and like what I want to do and my creativity. I think something that is really important here for myself is that I'm actually realizing that I have more things that I can write down here. So it's actually 13, and that I have another one. And then I'm planning to do like a long form video, like an actual long video on YouTube, because most of my videos are far below an hour. And I want to do like a big like documentary style video, and I'm very excited about that. Also, this channel in general, if you've missed my sort of quote unquote rebrand announcement. I have sort of changed the direction of this channel a little bit. It's still gonna involve a lot of things that you guys are familiar with. It's just gonna give me more creative freedom to also create other things. And I already have such a long list of very exciting ideas or things that I want to talk about. So that's gonna be super fun. The next one is earning at least 4K every month this year. I have already updated this number because I had to go check my finances for it, but this is sat at 5 out of 12, which means that is not necessarily half. But then I have a goal sort of adjacent to it, and that is earn more than 5K for 6 out of 12 months, and that is sitting at 4, which is 67. And something that I'm noticing is that I really ran into this as soon as I started creating content full time, is your income fluctuates. And something that I also noticed for myself is that stresses me out sometimes. Like, I'll have a month where I'm earning like quite a lot of money, and then literally a month after it dips and it's so much lower. And I made like a little calculation for myself to make sure that I am on average above a certain threshold every single month, because that is the threshold that I need to be able to sustain myself as a full-time creator. If I ever dip underneath that threshold for 1 month, it's fine. But as soon as it's 2 consecutive months in a row where I dip below my average threshold, then something's going wrong, because that means that I'm consistently not earning enough. And it really helped ease my mind to keep track of my monthly averages, because if I see my monthly averages for like this entire year, I basically have reached 5K already for 5 times. So it's one of those things where if I look at my averages, like 1 month will be really high, 1 month will be really low. As a creator, that's kind of just the way it is. I think looking at my averages is something that I'll continue to do throughout this year, and I'm definitely going to do next year in my goal setting, where it's like I want to on average earn this much per month, because sometimes even I earn something in a month but I don't get paid until 2 or 3 months later, which means that it makes no sense to track it on like a month-to-month basis unless I use the average parameter, if that makes any sense. But honestly, I'm really, really happy that this is a thing, because with going full-time, I was really scared that it would be not financially sustainable, and so far it has been, and I'm really, really lucky that that's the case. I have just really not done this. Stop neglecting best practices like SEO, thumbnail, and title design. I keep saying that I want to do this, and I'm just not excited by it. It's not a topic that entices me at all. So I really have to put myself. I have been getting better at titles and thumbnails. That's just a skill. Like, I'm enjoying the thumbnail part, but the SEO and like the research and stuff, it's not top of mind. I don't enjoy it. So I don't think I've done anything on this. I should just leave it as it is. Making more time for crafts. This is planned. I planned a crafting day with my mom and my sister. I also want to do Legos with Scott, which we still need to plan, but definitely doing that. And then I feel like something that is for me almost a craft is decorating my home. Not like putting together IKEA furniture or painting, but coming up with concepts, figuring out what I want to do and like how I want to decorate it. So like the small little things of how do I personalize my space? How do I make it feel cozy? How do I make things coherent? Where do I add like a little light or a little plant to make everything feel balanced and like give the right ambiance? So this is all in progress. I want to do it 5 times. I now have 3 things that I'm gonna do probably in Q3. So I definitely need to do a bit more in Q4 as well, but I feel like 5 times is still doable this year. Travel at least twice in 2025. Budapest is coming up, LA and San Diego is coming up, Antwerp is coming up, Pukkelpop is coming up. So these are all things that 2 of these things are happening in the 3rd quarter, and these 2 are both happening in the 3rd quarter or 4th quarter. So that means that I will definitely finish this goal this year. Then go to at least 10 concerts and performances. I can up this to 4 because I actually went to Aurora with my best friend and it was absolutely amazing. But that means that I've now seen 4 performances. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 still scheduled, of which 2 are technically in the beginning of 2026. So I don't know if they entirely count, but I still have at least 5 things planned for this year. And I am going to a festival, which probably means that I will see a huge variety of concerts and performances live at the festival. I right now count the whole festival as one thing, but obviously I'll see more. And potentially I'm also going to go to yet another festival called Sziget in Budapest when we're on holiday there, which again, would add like so much to this long list of things that I would see live. So I'm definitely going to reach this goal this year. It's just going to take across the entire year, which I guess is the point of this goal, right? Then reading 10 books a year. Let me quickly track or like check my tracker. It now says that I've read 6, but technically I'm on my 6th book. Like I'm currently reading my 6th book, which means that I've read 5, which is exactly half. I do expect to be able to read a bit more when I go on vacation. And also when later this year I travel to the States, I'll probably read on the plane and stuff like that. I definitely think that I should be able to reach this, specifically because I've been reading a lot of big books, like 800 pages plus books. And I actually, after finishing the series that I'm reading right now, I'm reading Throne of Glass. If you're ever curious, my TBR and like what I'm reading and what I plan to read next is public. It's on my website, linked in the description box. But I basically, once I finish Throne of Glass, I'm gonna commit to like doing 2 shorter sort of palette cleansers that are both contemporary literature novels, and they're both like 200 pages, which means that I'll just zoom through them so much faster, and they would both count as like separate books, of course. So definitely reaching that goal. Then a live stream continuously while continuously improving my quality. I am gonna not update the specific number because I just know by heart that I've been live streaming very consistently. At the same time, in the past month, I have also, I think, canceled more streams than I have done in like the past 3 years, for the reason that I've been so incredibly busy and I've been doing so many big events, big streams, big commitments, like big projects, that I really needed to show myself some grace, maybe take like a day off here and there, or when I was not feeling 100%, allow my body to rest rather than push through. And I'm really proud for doing that. I actually think that that is an important part of my live streaming consistently. Like while continuously improving my quality, you cannot improve quality, like you cannot pour from an empty cup. I really needed to make sure that my cup didn't go empty. And I'm very proud of myself for recognizing that and not like pushing through and taking some time, like some less time to stream and some more time to recover, basically. Posting 52 shorts, TikToks, reels about lifestyle. I can already tell you that this is not happening, the 52, unless I up my content later in the year. I think my biggest challenge here is that I was super consistent for the first like 17 to 20 weeks of the year. I was very excited. I made so many videos. I made like an unfiltered life diaries every single week. And then on top of that, even more. But I realized that filming those throughout my week, like constantly having to be like switched on of like, oh, I have to film this because I'm making content all the time, was incredibly tiring on one hand, and the other hand was editing those and like trying to come up with a concept of like little daily vlogs or like weekly vlogs and stuff like that. It was absolutely draining me, which I then realized was not the purpose of why I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this not because I wanted to get a perfect 52 post, but I wanted to do this to document this year so that when I would look back on this year, I would be able to like sort of reflect and be like, wow, 2025, look at all of these things that I've did, but also look at all of these like struggles or challenges or something that I've overcome. I think by making videos like this, or by just like making vlogs on my on this channel, like doing long form vlogs or doing photo posts with all these memories and stuff like that also counts. And I'm just like, oh, it's just reels or like short form content, and I'm trying to sort of broaden my horizon of, no, I'm just documenting this year actively, which doesn't always mean that I have to do little weekly vlogs. So I'm not going to update this number because, again, I want to focus more on the intention behind this goal rather than the actual result. Then posting 30 standalone videos on Extra TXT. I can check how that is going. Okay, so I have posted 17 videos now, which means that we are at 57%, which is actually really nice. That means that I am ahead of things, which is, again, it doesn't feel like that. Sometimes I have this with this channel because I only post bi-weekly, or sometimes I post like 2 or 3 videos in a short time span and then I take a little break to work on new things. And it's just one of those things where I feel like I'm not really giving any attention to this channel, and then when I reflect on it, I'm like, no, actually you've made 17 videos this year so far, which is on like schedule. This is on route for what you planned for yourself. So maybe I should be like a little bit happier with my actual progress instead of sometimes being so harsh on myself. Then I also wanted to do 30 standalone videos on Rosannatxt, which means that that is like not any of my legacy challenge episodes. So let me do a quick count. So far, I have uploaded 33 standalone videos. Obviously, I set this goal for myself when I wasn't a full-time creator yet, so I did expect myself to reach this goal. I did not expect to have reached it 6 months into the year, because next to these 33 videos that I've created, I have also uploaded episodes of my Pack Legacy Challenge weekly. So that means that for this one, let me do a quick count as well. I have done 25 episodes, not 125, 25 episodes, which I know it says 75. That's because I'm still planning or hoping or seeing if later in this year I could potentially up this to 2 episodes a week, simply because this Legacy Challenge otherwise would take forever. I am doing a little experiment where in prep of my holiday in the coming month, because in August I'll be taking 2 entire weeks off. No content, no work, nothing. Just 2 entire weeks off, which means that I won't be able to record anything. So in July, I'm basically going to pre-record for my vacation, and I'm going to spread it out, meaning that I will be recording 2 episodes of the Pack Legacy Challenge every week, and my editor will be editing 2 so that we can pre-schedule for August. I think this is going to be a great experiment for myself, but also in like collaboration with my editor to see how it feels workload-wise to do 2 episodes a week. And in this case, we're using it to pre-plan content, but if we realize that that is actually something that we can keep up with and it actually works quite nicely with the flow, I might open up the conversation to check in and see like, hey, would you be open to potentially editing 2 episodes a week for me? But again, this is all very dependent on whether the workload also for me feels fine, whether I feel comfortable with recording 2 episodes of this a week. Then I say consistently share more in-progress things specifically for product campaigns and projects. I haven't updated this list, to be honest, but I would like to say that I have been getting better at this just in general because I've been enjoying like sharing the behind the scenes of my content creation. So on my stream, I very often will just quickly share my screen to show people like, hey, this is what I'm working on today. Do you guys like this thumbnail? Do you guys like this logo? Do you have any feedback? Do you have any questions? Like, it's really helped me also improve things and take them to the next level. A very recent example was that I finally made a logo for my own legacy challenge called the Pack Legacy Challenge. And I've written this challenge 2.5 years ago. And I have legit, for the first time, made a logo for it. And the only reason I pushed through because I talked to my chat about it. So I don't have an updated number for this specifically. I will just like take some time outside of the video to think for myself and update this list and then write it over here, like update the number. But I definitely feel like I've been getting a lot better at this. Then I say, play a game just for myself, don't create any content around it. And ironically enough, I have played 2 games, but I would almost put Minecraft on here as well, because something that I have been able to do with Minecraft that I have not been able to do with any of my other games is being able to play it, even though I'm making content for it, because when I'm playing on the SMP, I am making content for it. I can play guilt-free outside of my content. I can go online to that server and play for myself because I want to play and I'm not feeling guilty about the fact that I should be creating content. It's almost the opposite where I'm like, oh, it's nice that I'm playing because then next time that I go on, we can work on things that I actually want to work on, like on stream. And I can do like the grindy bits to relax for myself, to just sit here and strip mine or grind XP or something. I can do that for myself to relax. So I think I'm going to just put Minecraft here as well. And I have been playing a lot of Minecraft in the past few days. It's been really nice to have something to just enjoy for myself again. So this is definitely in progress, I think. And that is all of the goals for all year. So let's take a more specific look at Q2. Diagnose and meds for ADHD. I get to tick this off. Like I said, I am going to do a whole separate video on my experience with ADHD medication. It definitely has upsides and downsides, and I haven't fully decided yet whether I want to stick with it. So keep an eye out for that video. I'll probably be releasing it somewhere in like the coming few weeks, but I'm like wanting to make sure that my experience is whole and like well-rounded before I actually make that video. But I think I can put this goal to completed. I think I might put it as completed for now. And that is the first actual like big milestone that I have completed this year. Go to therapy again. I have also done that. It says 9. I think this is like how many sessions I have with her. I think at this point we're at like 7. I think I have 2 more scheduled sessions. So I'll just leave it for in progress, but that's definitely wrapping up. I do want to bring up with my therapist that there are things that I still want to explore. And I feel like there are things that are not going to fit in just 2 sessions. So this might be on here for Q3 as well. But I'm just generally happy that I'm allowing myself the time to do this. And I am just making the time in my week to actually work on myself and my mental health. Then dedicate time to redecorate my living space and make it truly a home. We have done so much. This list is not even close. We have the new kitchen island actually, so I get to take that off. We have the desk. It says new kitchen color. That's not happening. Well, we still have to paint it, and we're gonna do kitchen tiles. This list is, at this point, has gotten so much longer. We kind of went overboard. We're also doing things in the living room, like in the bedroom. We're also doing things in my office. We're like basically so many parts of our brain sort of unlocked as soon as we started thinking about how can we improve the house. I've made a whole separate project with all the things that I want to do, and I might actually do a video later this year of things that I've done this year to improve my living space and like improve how my home works and how it like feels to be here. Let me know in the comments down below if that's a video that you would be interested in. I don't exactly know what I would be telling you guys. Maybe it could just be like a house tour, and then I can talk through the decisions that we've made in our house to make it a pleasant living space. But I am gonna say that I'm gonna put it at 4.5, a weird number, but I just feel like we are more than halfway there because we've ordered a lot of things. We know what we still want to do, and somewhere in the coming quarter, so that means in Q3, we are actually gonna finish this project because we have dedicated some time over the summer to actually work on these things and wrap up like the decor of our home. Then it says make a list of activities I want to do and actually take time to schedule them. This is, yeah, haven't really done anything for this on Q2. So we're definitely putting that to Q3, and I'm just removing it from Q2 because I literally have not done anything. The things we've done, like we have taken more time to hang out and like do fun things together, but it's not really been like, oh, let's sit down and like think about dates that we actually want to do. And I think we're just both notoriously bad at it. So I really want to do it. Q3. I promise that's going to be the time. I think for our vacation, for instance, we're definitely going to do that. And I'm hoping that that will sort of spark that inspiration to do that more after as well. Then making a portfolio page on my website so it's easier to market myself. Have absolutely not done this. To be honest, completely forgot about it. So I will try to pick that up in Q3 because I do still think this is going to be very helpful. I obviously have my media kit as a creator, which partially is my portfolio, but I think it might be really nice to have like a portfolio website where I can specifically showcase of like, this is the type of content I do in terms of like gameplay. This is the type of content I do in terms of lifestyle. This is like the type of content I could do for a sponsorship, like have an example of an integration or have an example of an entire sponsored video. So that whenever I'm working with sponsors, I can just send them things like, hey, this is what I could do for you. Improve my video editing skill. I would say this is in progress. I'm definitely working on this with making vlogs and stuff. I have been getting better and I'm learning new things every single time I edit a video. I don't really know how to put any progress on this. It's just something that I'm continuously doing with every single video that I edit. So I think it's also gonna come up in Q3. The thing is, for this, I wanted to specifically follow a course and I just have not had the time to do that. I keep meaning to do that, but it just takes so much time to actually sit down for it. And with my current work schedule, I just don't have the time. So I think I've been learning this quarter mostly by doing, and I'm gonna try to actually follow the course in Q3 or Q4. Maybe, in all honesty, with my vacation coming up, I already know that it's not gonna happen in Q3. So let me put it to Q4 as well. Then participate in a Twitch Rivals, and then it says preferably Minecraft. And hilariously enough, I have actually done this, but it wasn't Minecraft. It was The Sims. And the whole reason I said preferably Minecraft and not preferably Sims was because until this year, Sims Twitch Rivals did not exist. It was not a thing. And then Kayla, aka Lil Simsy, actually hosted an event together with Twitch called Lil Simsy's Twitch Bingo. Or Sims Bingo, and it was one of the most fun events I've participated in this year. I have had such a good time playing The Sims competitively. It was so fun. I had such a good laugh, and I feel like I wrote Minecraft because there was no way in my brain that The Sims would even happen. I have left this goal open, and I've also put it to Q4 because I would still love to participate in a Minecraft Championship Twitch Rivals. So it is still on my list. I'm not taking it off just yet. It would be really cool if I get to do both this year, and otherwise maybe I can do that like later, maybe next year. Then it says speak on a stage at TwitchCon. Panel, main stage, can be in the US, EU, or both. And I've said current progress 1, but at TwitchCon Europe, I got to speak on the main stage, and I got to speak on 3 panels, which means that this is already at 4. And I have also applied for many, many, many panels for the US. So I think this goal where last year I tried and it just didn't happen, it wasn't in the books for me. This year, completely wild. It's actually happening. and not just a little bit. And I'm really thankful for that. Then release at least 4 new paid Notion templates. I've actually released 2 paid Notion templates, and I've done a couple of Sims Notion templates where people have also been paying for, but technically those are free, so I won't count them. But this is actually sitting at 3 already, which is really nice. I've actually done the partner Notion setup, and I have actually released a finance tracker separately. Because I realized that that was actually kind of nice to just release separately, because for people that don't want to get the whole partner setup or my entire Notion template setup, a finance tracker is still super useful. So I released that as well. So definitely on track with that one. Then do a no spend month. I don't know when to plan this. And that's not like, I know that sounds really stupid, but every single month of the year, I have something that makes me have to spend money. Like, I'm going on a holiday, I'm traveling, I have a charity event that I'm donating to myself, it's Christmas. Like, every single month there's something. And I want to do this, but I just genuinely don't know how to. Because this month I'm prepping for my holiday. So it's not like I'm not going to buy anything if I need it. So this goal, I surely did not do it in Q2. I don't see myself doing it in Q3. I might try to do it in September. If there is a month in this year where I'm not traveling, I'll just be at home and I'll just be like prepping and working and stuff, it's going to be September. So let's try to aim to do this in September. And I think I want to see if I can actually do it. Learn how to type with 10 fingers. Another new skill that I really desperately want to learn, but I simply just do not have the time for. Like, it requires so much effort every single day to work on this, and I just don't have the time to put in more effort every single day. So at this point, I'm like, am I going to do this in Q3? Probably not. Let's move it to Q4 for now. If I don't do it this year, this is like such a low priority goal. And then make a best practice / standard format for releasing new Notion templates. I have not done this, and it's actually been frustrating that I haven't done this, because with releasing more Notion templates, it's been annoying. The process is sort of there. I just need to write it down so that I have a little checklist for myself. And I would love to do that somewhere this quarter, because it shouldn't take a lot of time. I should just actually do it. Then that basically means that a lot of things that I have been doing are still in progress. A lot of Q2 goals are actually not wrapped up. Then now that we've updated all of these, as you can see, so many things are still at 0. That is just because a lot of things are still in progress, which is, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit frustrating, because I feel like I've reached so many massive goals, like going full-time with my content and like, I don't know, like getting financially stable with, my content income and stuff like that. There's like so many things I've done that feel like super big milestones, but all of my goals on my dashboard are still saying 0, because everything that I have linked, like all of the milestones, are in progress. I have not read 10 books this year yet. I'm working on it. I am playing a game just for myself. I'm working on it. I'm going to 10 performances. Like, I have done big parts of this, but the progress is still saying 0, because the progress is literally linked to me saying that something is done. And I want to think about this, not necessarily for this year. This year, I'm just going to stick to this template. But if I'm going to make another template for next year, or just for myself, how I can reflect on my goals, I want to see if I can think a little bit more about how I can display or measure, or I don't know, remember like bigger milestones or highlights throughout the year. Because what I'm noticing now is that some really impactful decisions are not reflected in my purpose dashboard, which almost feels weird. I think maybe there should be like another little category down here next to my vision board that literally just says like big milestones this year or something. I don't know. It would just be nice if there was like just a little section here that says achievements or something. And that space, I could just write things down throughout the year that have felt to me like important milestones, things that for me signify this year, that when I will be talking about the year 2025 in like 5 or 10 years time, I'll be like, yeah, oh my God, 2025, that was the year that ... like all of those things. And I think I might take some time for myself outside of this video to write that down, just so that I can reflect on it. Like, again, for another template, I would probably think about how I can incorporate this into the actual system. But for this year, I might just write it down for myself so I don't forget. And also so that when we're doing our next quarterly review, I'll be able to see what my bigger achievements were throughout the year so I don't forget about them. Because to me personally, January already feels like a lifetime ago, and I really do not feel like I can vividly remember all the bigger achievements that I had this year, even though that's weird because it's literally still this year. So why am I forgetting them? Like, why am I sometimes so in my daily slump that I'm not even actively thinking about all these things? So that's also why this purpose dashboard is here, to remind me of my intentions, but also remind me of my achievements. So yeah, that I think was my quarterly review. I am pretty happy with my progress. I'm also realizing that I need to make some more conscious decisions, and I'm already not really knowing how I'm gonna do that because I have so many things planned and upcoming in the coming quarter and the quarter after as well. But I'm also pretty pleased with how hard I've been working and at the same time how much rest I've been taking. So I'm very stoked to continue to work on this and hopefully post a lot of creative content on this channel and then review again next quarter. Let me know how you like these quarterly review videos. I know it's very rambly. It's literally just me talking through my thought process about my goals and my milestones. Let me know if there's any questions or suggestions. Feel free to drop them in the comments. If you don't have any questions or suggestions, feel free to just leave your favorite emoji because it's great for engagement. If you like this video, please toss it a cheeky like. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, this would be the perfect time to do so. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, everyone!